best-selling author and PragerU founder Dennis Prager is on a mission to bring the Bible back to the forefront in our society, especially for its wisdom on controversial issues of the day like socialism, abortion, and even higher education scandals.
Dennis is out with a brand new book today doing just that. It's called The Rational Bible Genesis, and he's here with insight in his very first TV interview for the book, unless you cheated us on the way over.
First one.
All right.
Absolutely. As promised.
So we have a book of Genesis. Why should we get your book of Genesis?
Because people need to understand it. There's a big problem today. You have the greatest book in the history of the world. I mean, even atheists, even people who hate religion, will have to acknowledge it's the most significant book ever written. So people, even if they hate it, should understand it. So I know biblical Hebrew like I know English, and I have taught this all of my life to people of every faith and no faith. My point is to show you why this can transform your life, the insights that it has. And this is the second volume. Exodus came out last year. Right. I'm not going in order, obviously. This is the first book. And I feel self-conscious, as you could see, because I don't normally stutter. But it was the best-selling nonfiction book in the United States last year on Amazon. And Costco has ordered 36,000 copies. And I only mention this because this is my dream. Nobody writes Bible commentaries to get rich, okay? Let's put that aside. But my dream is that it once again become the most important book in America. The place that killed the Bible is the university. The university has become the stupidest place in America.
So there are different chapters in your book that explain things that are going on in life right now. So, right. I mean, you take it, and you've studied the Bible for 40 years. So, for instance, in chapter 2, you actually talk about something that's in the news a lot, and that is socialism. Yes.
There are two big issues. Of course, the Bible doesn't use the word socialism. It's too new. But it is extremely mistrustful of human nature. Therefore, it doesn't want power to be in the hands of a few people, and socialism, by definition, is power in the hands of the few. Capitalism and free market is power in the hands of the consumer, of the individual. I'm not saying that companies don't have power, but they can never approach what government could have. No company ever built the Gulag or Auschwitz. Okay, let's be clear on that. I'm not a company fan, but let's be honest. Mm-hmm. So it is very, very mistrustful of power. And in that book, Genesis, God says the will of man's heart is towards evil from his youth.
Okay, then you also talk about abortions. You say that can be...
No, abortion is actually in Exodus. And it's not actually abortion, it's about the unborn. The first 5 books, which is what I'm concentrating on, because that is the basis for Jews and Christians of the rest of the Bible, has nothing to say about that except in one specific paragraph in Exodus, and I deal with that at great length.
What about gender roles?
Well, this is the big thing. The only division that God declares significant is male-female. God couldn't care less about race, couldn't care less about ethnicity. They're not even mentioned. Do you know Adam's race? No. Do you know Adam's ethnicity? No. Do you know Adam's sex? Yep. Male and female, he created them.
Genesis, he says he created the world in 7 days. Is his timing our timing?
This is an issue. I deal with that, too. There are people who believe that it's literal. I don't, but I have no problem with these people because, and it's not a debate we should ever enter. It makes us look silly, those of us who are religious.
Focusing on the wrong thing.
It is a non-issue to me. Yom, the word in Hebrew for a day, can be a period of time, just like we say an hour a day. Doesn't mean today. Mm-hmm. So too in biblical Hebrew. On the other hand, I don't dismiss these people as kooks. If God could create the universe in 1 billion years, he could create it in 6 days. What do I care?
Mm-hmm. You were talking with Ainsley. She asked you about abortion. Did you see this soundbite a couple of days ago from a state representative down in Alabama by the name of...
Unbelievable.
We're going to play the soundbite and then get your comment. Listen to this.
Some kids are unwanted. So you kill them now, kill them later. You bring them in the world unwanted, unloved. Then you send them to the electric chair. So you kill them now, kill them later.
What do you think?
Look, we have... Those of us who predicted that the death of God will lead to the death of absolute standards were right. We are now allowing infanticide, and it is inevitable. If it is a non-issue a day before birth, why is it an issue a day after birth? There is no answer that the pro-choice community has to that question.
Right. For those people who are killing each other because we're not the same religion, what do you say to them?
The greatest sin, this is not Prager, this is in the Ten Commandments. There's only one sin in the Ten Commandments God says he will not forgive, and that is using his name in vain. And it doesn't mean saying, oh my God, what a lousy day at the office. That is a misunderstanding. I explained
But killing in his name is...
That's the worst sin you could commit.
I hear you.
The new book is called Genesis, God, Creation, and Destruction.
The Rational Bible.
Rational Bible. Dennis Prager?
It's amazing. He breaks down the entire book of Genesis, 565 pages.
Thank you.
I'm pulling for Genesis over Exodus. Again, to more sales, okay?